everything was so right for me and Snuka. You know, I got the belt back right away, and Snuka come out of his thing with Ray Stevens and Albano, if I remember correctly. And so people were just biting at the, you know, just like a shark, just like biting at the bait, waiting for that match. He was the consummate manager. You know, he was. Other guys would want, you know, and rightfully so. You know, Lou had been around, and Lou with his vodka glasses and stuff like that, and Freddie had his own thing. But Ernie was for his, you know, was for you. He was lazy. Every time he do something, I give him a big bump. You know, I said, oh, you missed this. Guess what comes now? Like, oh no! I'd suplex over there, you know, or slam him, or and he never enjoyed that. But you know, every time he screwed something up, I said, you know, that's how I used to play jokes. I had good fun. They got 86 for a while. George Napolitano,
right?
Bill Apter, all those guys. They were pretty much in the outs for a while. I don't think it, you know, I don't think it went over, you know, over 100% with them. But you know, he was making good money, and evidently they'd promised him, you know, employment down the road, and he'd done well here. As a heel, I was doing a lot of business with the strap. I did good business. They would split me and Backlund up on all the cards, and after in those days, the top heel would come in for 6, 7, 8 months and then go out, and probably not come back for quite some time. Sure. But this was like we're going over. This was a big boiling pot here. This is a big tournament, so things were changing. There was a different credibility you'd have to bring to the match. It wasn't, you know. I would still go out and do all my wild shit, you know, jumping around and everything else. But then you would have to settle down into more of a wrestling type match, or to get the most out of Bob. And we were going hours in those days, you know, every night. So to get, you'd have to, you know, start it back and, you know, kick it back a couple notches. Vancouver to Seattle to Portland to San Francisco, over to Sacramento, down to LA and to San Diego.
Right.
That was a whole. Then later they came with Bakersfield and Orange County and a couple other, you know, huge markets there that were, you know, that were profitable. He called the nurse. He had a nurse or whoever was at the hospital that he'd gone to the emergency. They called me, and at that time, Skolin used to pay off a bunch of the small towns. He had $600-800 in his pocket. I got there and told him, watch me go through his pockets, and his pockets were empty. So I was the one that they followed me to, and I drove Jimmy to Hamburg.
What was he saying in the car?
That she'd slipped, and he was, you know, despondent and hit her head, and pretty much, you know, whatever, you know. Yeah. The statements were. He
and then it just kind of goes away, right? I mean, he kept working.
Yeah.
Did you know Nancy?
You know.
Was she a serious girlfriend or just someone that was kind of
yeah.